Lovely good morning to you. This is a radical farmer here at Organic Farm 7. So today I want to share something exciting with you, and I'm going to title it Excitement Without Experience. When we talk about excitement without experience, we are talking about situations where someone is excited about something but they don't have experience about it and how dangerous that is. There are so many scenarios that I personally has been very excited about something, and that excitement has actually landed me in problems, or sometimes it almost caused me serious problems. And I've seen people that have been excited maybe about farming. You're excited, I want to be a farmer, I want to be a farmer. Or you are excited about entrepreneurship, say, I want to be my own boss, I want to quit my job and start my own business. But you see, that excitement without experience is very dangerous. Let me tell you a story what I did actually months ago. We used to go to a place called Mutoni, that is in Waliamponda in Samfya Rwapura province, where we were setting up an orchard on an island. So we had to carry things, by road about 800 kilometers. Then on the water we have to be there like for 6 hours depending on the load and also the wind on the load. So what we'll do is we'll start off from here maybe around 03, we drive all day long. Maybe sometimes sleep in Sanka then proceed, or sometimes, but mostly we couldn't make it like one way, but we could sleep on the way. Then the following day early in the morning we are on the boat. But I remember one time we had to move at night. So when we got on the boat, I've never been on water before. I don't like water, I'm scared of water, and I don't know how to swim. So we'd get on the boat and I would humble myself, sit down there. I used to enjoy the peace. Like, it's so nice to move on the water. I've moved on the plane, I've moved on the road, on the bicycle, by road, ox cart. I've used most of the modes of transport that are on this planet. But I think one that is so enjoyable is that one of moving on the water. But sitting on the boat was not enough. I wanted to know how to, control the boat. I wanted to know how to ride the boat. So I spoke to the person who rides the bike, the speedboater. His name is Mr. Mwewa, but we call him a coxswain. So I said, now, Mr. Mwewa, I think, I can do this. So I said, I'll give it a try. So he would give me, I would, push it and navigate around. Since I know how to drive a vehicle, I can ride a bicycle, a motorbike. So I said, no, I can manage. And for sure I gave me and I managed to do it, but I didn't have experience. So I moved it. So on pathways we went. So several times I did it, but I didn't have enough experience. So one day when we were coming back, we left around I think 04. So we were very early. So we rode. He gave me I rode very early in the morning. I pushed it. It was moving. There were no obstacles. Things were sailing very well. People had not yet started moving on the boat, because when someone is coming and you're riding a boat, you have to slow down because the waves can actually hit them or even capsize them, especially those with canoes. Because we had a speedboat, the waves really become strong when you're moving. So, but it was enjoyable. You're moving and the waves, they are moving up. And as we approached the harbor at Chinsanka, we came across to the wider space where there was the Wapura River, and that's where these channels are branching off. So when I saw the waters, very excited. And I said, now, today, I want to spin on the water. And the people, they didn't know what I was thinking, but I knew what I was thinking. So I increased the gears, full throttle, and the speedboat agreed to the speed. It moved fast. Then when I reached on the wider space, I said, now here, the harbor is right there. I have to do a rust spin. I've never spinned before. I didn't know the consequences, but I just said I'm going to spin. Now, I started the spinning, and the people didn't see, it was like, we're turning to the harbor. As I turned to the harbor, then I spinned, and now that speedboat created a wave. And now it was time to go back to the mainland. Now that wave had started moving. Now I didn't know how to handle the wave created by me by excitement. And that wave came and it hit us. And I was scared. And I said, no, if I'm going to die, I will not die alone. I'll die with this boat. If these guys in the boat are going to die, they'll die alone. And they screamed. And I was calm. I held the boat tightly. And I said, here, I'm not letting go of this boat. And as I spinned, by God's grace, I don't know where I got the courage. I just hammered the wave, and we passed. And everyone was saying, oh, we were going to die. I said, no, don't worry, you're not going to die. But for sure we're going to die, because the wave there is strong and there are crocodiles there, it is very deep. I don't know how to swim, and there were other people that didn't know how to swim. But now, here's a lesson from this. I was excited, but I didn't have experience. I had the courage, I had the confidence that I can do it, but I didn't have experience. No matter how confident you are, no matter how courageous you are, you need experience in any venture that you make. There are some people that have gotten into agriculture with the excitement, but no experience, no practical knowledge, and it has costed them a lot of money. There are some people that have stopped work that I know that have gone into farming. They had money, they have invested all the money, and the money is gone. It's not really about confidence, it's not really about courage, but it's about experience and having the correct kind of knowledge. So if you want to venture in anything, I would encourage you, make sure that, number one, gather enough knowledge. Number two, ask the people that have made it how they have made it. Number three, work with those people. If you can't work with them, work on a small space and do something. Sometimes people that have got money, they are very stubborn. They think all you need is money. But I can guarantee you, if you think you've got money, farming is going to swallow your money. There is no more money. There isn't enough money that farming can fail to handle. It can swallow your money, because the challenge is when you've got a lot of money, your plans are equivalent to your money. And you don't plan on how much you remain with, you just plan on if you have got 2 million, your plan is going to be 2 million. And in most cases, your money will finish before you even execute your plan. And I'll tell you the truth, mostly farming is correct on paper, on Excel, when you are asking, when you are thinking, when you are planning properly. I have failed so many things that I don't even know, because what I planned and what I found on the ground, very different. And many of you, I know you are victims. You've been through this before. So we can save a lot of money, and actually we can excel in farming when we follow the right procedure. And there's always a process. I'll give you a minimum of 3 years to learn. You see, don't rush into big investments. No, I can guarantee you, especially you who have succeeded in the corporate world, maybe you were a manager, you did well and you were paid well, and you think that you're going to make it in farming because you've got that experience from another field. Farming is a whole different profession. It is a whole different setup, and you really have to humble yourself. Otherwise, farming will humble you. Now, when we have the higher failure rate in farming, we actually discourage others from starting farming. Now, I'm just telling you the plain truth, that you really have to get things right. You really have to have practical knowledge. Like, let me give an example. If you want to do maybe pottery, before you do a pottery, go and ask those that are doing pottery how they are doing it. Get practical knowledge from them. Volunteer, work there. Go to the market early in the morning, see how things happen. And see, you get a practical insight of what is happening. Then you decide whether you're going to go that route or you're not going to go that route. Sometimes, people want, how is, radical farmer making it? How is organic farmer making it? It's because I have failed so many times, and I know what works and what doesn't work. Even as I consult with people, I advise people, I know exactly. Like, you see, there are certain things in farming that don't change. But just, the arrogance of people that don't know. There's also what we call the arrogance of ignorance, where you don't know, but you think you know. But it's just a matter of time. Farming will teach you. So farming is an adventure that we have to get in, but we have to be very conscious. We have to gather enough knowledge, and we should speak to people that have made it. Sometimes we get advices from wrong people. People maybe that just have ideas about farming, or maybe people that have failed one thing and they have not repeated it. So those have not yet qualified. But those that have failed and those that have known how to overcome failure are the people that you should actually consult with. You know, for now, let me end here, but I hope you've gotten something. Don't be excited without experience, because your excitement is a feeling. Excitement, it comes and goes, and excitement is conditional. Only when things are okay, that is when you're going to be excited. When things are tough, you are going to keep quiet. Stay blessed and stay super organic. One of these fine days, make sure you visit Organic Farm 7 and we're going to save you. Stay blessed and stay super organic.